We begin with a 13 WHAM investigation. Good evening, I'm Karen Edwards. New data from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development shows fair market rent has increased in the Rochester region by almost 10% for a one-bedroom compared to the year before. Investigative reporter Lisle Rose talked with housing experts about rising rent and its ripple effects.
These increases are going to drive more people to the shelters.
A fear of more homelessness in the area as the fair market rent data from HUD shows the average rent in Rochester increased nearly 10% year over year.
It presents a challenge with the amount of options people have, the neighborhoods they can move into, and the school districts that they want to access.
Person-centered housing options is already seeing the impact from higher rent. The organization provides supportive programs to help people find affordable housing.
We find a lot of people calling in to our agency who are working and they can't keep up with the rental increases that their landlords are applying.
Data shows the average cost of rent increased by $99 for a one-bedroom, $120 for a two-bedroom, and $140 for a three-bedroom for fiscal year 2025 in the Rochester area compared to the year before.
The majority of Rochesterians were already experiencing a rent burden. So this additional $100 is going to just deepen that gap, especially for our most vulnerable populations.
Housing groups tell 13 WHAM the rising cost of rent makes it less affordable for people and increases the risk of people being unhoused.
I think it's impacting all income groups, mainly the low income and the middle income, but as I said, even working families are struggling to afford their rent and then their basic needs for the family.
We're seeing higher rates of family homelessness than we ever have, and we're seeing more people on the street. Shelters are full, people are boarded, are doubled up, and there's no place to go.
I talked to the owner of a property management company in Rochester who didn't want to be identified, but shared what's contributing to higher rental prices. The owner says the rising cost of property maintenance, staff salaries, property insurance costs increasing, and eviction laws are hurting some landlords.
The cost of living has pushed a lot of landlords into a position where they're increasing their costs.
Housing experts also point to a slowdown in housing development, which is driving up rental costs, and the belief that some landlords are intentionally increasing rent without a proper cause.
People are getting priced out. So, often folks are getting hit with, I've seen $200 rent increases, I've seen $400 rent increases, these really high jumps that are really intended to get in higher paying tenants and basically what we call a rent eviction.
Our Lisle Rose reporting there. Tomorrow, he is taking a deeper look at the salary needed to afford the average Rochester rent and the growing gap between income and expenses for some, potentially putting them in a very tight spot. And our colleagues have produced a special on the Salvation Army's efforts to help the unhoused. You can watch Sinclair Care's Homeless to Hope on Fox Rochester this Saturday night at 5:30 and 7:30 and Sunday night at 6:30.